Hello, Sarah Sabin, team and executive coach here in the Leading in the Modern Way video interview series. And I am super excited to have with me here today Emrah Erturk, who is the CEO of Sorwe. Emrah, welcome to the show today. And would you briefly introduce yourself to my listeners?
Hello, Sarah. How are you? Thank you very much. By the way, I'm super excited today to introduce myself and Sorwe, my business. So thank you very much for your invite, by the way.
My pleasure.
Okay. So I am Emrah, CEO and co-founder of the Sorwe. Sorwe is the end-to-end employee experience platform to improve the engagement and the boost the performance in the organizations. We have very unique approach, the holistic approach actually for engaging the people. So yeah, actually before than this initiative, I have 18 years background in multinational companies as a professional manager. And also before than this career, I have another entrepreneurship journey. So I built the chemical company. This chemical company is growth too much at the moment. It is still alive. And then I switch on to professional life for a long time. And the Sorwe came up because of my previous experiences.
It's really interesting. So this is actually not your first venture.
Yeah.
And I'm curious then to understand, because where I talk to serial entrepreneurs, usually there are things that they do differently in their second, third businesses they didn't do in the first one. So what did you learn from your early experiences that you took with you into Sorwe?
So actually, all of the journeys are different in each other. Actually, we cannot compare. You have a different type of experiences because you are living these journeys in the different time zone in your life. For example, I built my first company in 2004. I was very young actually. So we built chemical R&D companies to produce the fine chemicals to the world. Step by step, it grew in the long term. For example, we achieved desired success after the 10th year. Actually, it was very long-term investment, long-term dedication, etc. So we were not talking about the funding, we were not talking about the startup businesses, etc. So, but now, new journey, we are waking up to a very new world. We are talking about the funding, VCs, equities, and they're growing faster. For example, we are doing maybe within 1 year. In the previous journey, we were doing the similar things in 5 years, for example. Everything is faster. You need to learn faster. You need to adapt to new challenges very quickly. So everything is different. Actually, challenges are different between the two different worlds. But of course, my experience is about the team building, my experiences about the facing with the challenges and stay calm in the front of the difficulties. These are most important experiences actually still I'm using in my life.
Yeah, and I think that point is true. Each business is unique, but some challenges are universal.
Yes.
So, resilience, always a very important skill, team building and how to motivate a team. And it's
Yeah.
interesting to me because that's what Sorwe does. It helps other companies look at their employees' experience and engagement. What made you decide to want to step up a company around that?
Yeah. So especially in my professional career, I was managing the different countries, different type of people comes from the different background, different nationality, different cultures. It was a huge organization, multinational organization. So my biggest challenge was the people management, because when you invest to some countries, some industry, you can buy the equipment, you can design everything on the layout. Everything is mathematics. If you apply the mathematics, you don't have a chance to make a mistake. But when you involve the people to these organizations, so many different type of things are involving to the business: emotions, motivations, engagements, etc. So the people management was really a challenge for me. So we were using 10 different tools, many different consultant companies, etc. We were spending huge money, but I recognized that we are offering the terrible experience for the people because everybody needs to have 10 different password, 10 different username, 10 different experience from different things. So I recognize that we need a holistic approach from the single point. So it was very difficult in the market because I couldn't find any solution. But I believe the power of experience in the companies, when you create the better experience for the employees, automatically you are improving the engagement and automatically you are boosting the performance. You don't need to do any other separated things in your organizations. So when I noticed this type of things in my professional career, I decided to realize the Sorwe for everybody. And in very short term, actually, I have seen that it was not only my problem, it was problem of all leaders. Nobody have a holistic approach in the companies. Nobody have the cumulative data to understand the people in the companies. It was very difficult to take the decision under these conditions. So it is the basic story of the Sorwe, actually.
And I like that because data is important in order to make informed decisions. I will
Yes.
hastily add data is not everything, but it enables you to make more sensible decisions because you have some of the facts and context behind it. And I think certainly what I've found with companies is sometimes what they think is the problem isn't actually the problem because they don't necessarily have that insight into what the problem could be. And of course, that's where consultants come in as well, because looking at something objectively from the outside, you can see things that you can't necessarily see when you're in the thick of it.
Yeah, yeah. So in the business world, actually, many leaders are taking the decision with the perception. So yeah, some limited data are coming, and we don't know actually which type of reliable data we have for the organization, for the people. The organizations are asking very simple and basic questions to the people to understand their feeling, but it is not enough. If you want to understand real feelings in the company, in the fields, you need to consider many different elements. At the same time, you need to observe the motivation trends. At the same time, you need to observe their engagement for training and development programs. At the moment, you need to observe their happiness trends or engagement trends or other things, their interactions with the peers. After all these data, you will have an opinion about the real feelings, what is going on in the fields. Are they happy or not? Are they happy? Maybe some of the employees are not happy, but they like their job. So we need to separate these type of things very carefully before taking the action.
That's interesting. And I'd love to know how this translates into how you currently lead Sorwe. So how do you personally define strong leadership and how do you see it impacting your business's growth?
Yeah, actually, the identifying of the leadership, maybe it will be very standard, but the vision, take initiative to empower people in our organization, and to gather everybody on the same mission or same vision. These are the important things for me. Actually, the good leaders should have a very high empathic behaviors or the mindset for the people. You need to, okay, you can take the different type of decision. Maybe some people will not like it, but in all kind of decision, you need to be more empathic. So you need to inspire the people and empower the others. This is the most critical things actually for the leaderships for me. So I'm believing that my role in the Sorwe to inspire the people, empower people, and support them to take the initiative themselves. They shouldn't ask the answer from me all time. They should be more strong people to take the initiative and responsibilities in the cases. I think the leadership is more supporting the people for these initiatives.
Yes, and I mean the last point you made around supporting people to take initiative, that is the role of a coach. A coach does not supply the answers, they help you to find the answers for yourself. And there's a lot of talk around the leader as a coach. And that's true. The higher up you go, the more your role is about inspiring people to move forward in a certain direction.
Yeah, actually, it is taking time. Of course, everybody is expecting the quick answers from the leaders when they face with the problems. So it is very important to avoid this type of approach in the organizations. If you support them to take their own initiatives or decisions or responsibilities, it will take time, but in the future, you are creating more strong and sustainable organizations. Otherwise, if you choose the simple way, you can give the simple answer. Maybe you can solve this problem within minutes or within a day, but actually, you are leaving more weak organizations for the future. Again and again, the peoples are coming to you. Again and again, you need to find the solutions. And we are not superhumans, actually. Sometimes you cannot find the solution for every kind of problem. Sometimes you cannot create more or most creative solutions for every kind of problem. So you need to support the people to be leader in their life.
Yes.
For the long-term and sustainable organizations.
And that's the key point there. For the long term, and for me, that's another crucial aspect of leadership, being able to think long term and make decisions from that place. Because it is easy to jump in and try and fix everything, and it helps in the short term, but it doesn't help in the long term.
Yeah.
Well, in my opinion, the acid test of a good CEO is if they can literally step back from things and everything runs properly.
Yeah. So, for example, my observation, I am meeting with many entrepreneurs, many startup CEOs or top managers at the moment because of my position. So I think the biggest problem for these leaders are delegation. It is very difficult to delegate some important jobs to others. Everybody is thinking that they are not talented as much as CEO or the leader in the organizations. But we need to give the chance to people. We need to support the people to be the next CEO in your organizations. Otherwise, I said to you, it is not sustainable. But the biggest problem is really delegation. Every leader should learn the delegation first, I think.
Yes, and that in itself is something that sounds simple, but it's not that easy to do it really well. And often I will come across when working with SMEs that there is no one to delegate to, but then again, that shows you something about skills gaps. It shows you something about the timeline for bringing people in. So it still has its purpose, even if when all is said and done, you find that you're not delegating as much as you would like to.
Yeah. But if there is a skill gap in your people in the organization, actually it is the CEO's responsibility. So if you are thinking that there is a skill gap in some people, you are not doing your job. It means that.
No, I mean skills gaps as in there wouldn't be anyone to delegate it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But obviously, the CEO takes responsibility for making sure that the team is properly trained and supported, either, well, obviously depending on the size of organization, either through themselves or through the correct management structure that is trained in the proper way.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd love to know more about how you have invested in yourself as a leader and what steps you take to continue growing and evolving as you go along.
For myself, maybe I can give some topics. If you want, we can open some of them actually. So my personal development, executive education is very important, was very important for me. For the leadership and management, actually, I joined to some programs, some master degree educations. So I have seen the contribution of all of these trainings and programs in my life. Actually, because of this reason, the executive education is very important. And mentorship is also important. I'm seeking the mentorship or talking with the professional, other experienced people, talking with the other experienced people, sometimes talking with the coaches and mentors in my sectors. It is inspiring me. So network is also very important to develop myself. I would like to meet with the strong professionals in my sector. I'm to share some insights and feedbacks in each other. Another one is reading. I am not identifying the reading as a read only related things about your sector. No, actually, you need to read everything to have wider vision. I'm trying to read all kind of FE books in a month if I have a time. I'm trying to create a time especially for it. And feedback is important to get the feedback from your peers, from your employees, from your mentors, from anybody. I mentioned before the delegation is very important. I am trying to develop myself about the better delegations, about every kind of things actually. It is showing how I am supporting the people actually. The delegation approach is really important. And adaptation, I mentioned in the beginning of this interview actually, everything is changing more quick at the moment when we compare with 10 years ago. So you need to adapt to new technologies, new approaches, new changes in the world quickly. So I am trying to develop my adaptation skills about everything. I am trying to learn the new approaches. I am trying to learn the new technologies. I am trying to learn the new business models in the world. And all the time I'm thinking that how can I adopt myself and how can I adopt my business to the new conditions. I think these are the main topics about the development myself. I am trying to develop myself about these topics.
So if I was to excuse me, if I was to summarize it, you've got the learning aspect and you learn through various means, whether that's reading, whether that's other people, whether that's learning industry trends, and also being conscious of who you surround yourself with. So being surrounded by other executives, being surrounded by coaches and mentors, being conscious of your network. I think I boiled down what you said into those two headings, if you like.
Yeah, definitely. You did the perfect summary about that. So executive education, mentorship, networking, reading, delegation, and adaptation. These are the key development areas for myself, but you summarized very well everything.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's my job.
Yeah.
Final question, Emrah. If you could go back in time and give one piece of advice to your 20-year-old self, what would that be?
Yeah, interesting questions. Very interesting. I think take more responsibility and take more initiative in every kind of opportunity in my life, because sometimes I afraid to take the risk and initiative in some opportunities in my life. But now I recognize that everybody should take the risk especially in the younger ages. Take more responsibility about everything. So don't afraid to to make the mistake in your life, because when you make the mistakes, you are developing the vision for yourself. And another one is invest to build the strong relationship with the people, with the critical people. It will be invaluable in your life in the future.
Yeah, I love that. So take risks, invest in relationships. And
Yes.
on
Yes.
that point, I think one of my favorite quotes is the biggest risk in life is taking no risk at all. Um,
Definitely.
yeah,
Definitely.
which is true. And, you know, it's easier to take risk when you're younger. And I want to clarify that, you know, there are lots of people that take lots of risk at any age, but the sooner you start, the sooner you get into the habit of taking measured and calculated risks,
Yeah.
the better.
Yeah, definitely. In the older ages, you can take the calculated risk, but in the younger ages, I am supporting to take all kind of risk in the because you can correct everything. You have second chance all time in the younger ages. So when you take this type of risk, and then you will learn to calculate the risk in the future.
Oh, I
Everything
like that.
step by step, yeah.
Wise words indeed. Thank you, Emrah. I've really enjoyed this conversation today.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you very much.
And
Take care.
And to my listeners, I hope you've enjoyed this conversation as well. If you would like to take part in the series Leading in the Modern Way, please do reach out to me. Bye.